this UI programming. Here UI, here it is a user interface. We are learning here web UI technologies. Here this is the first session on this UI technologies. Web UI technologies first session. Here UI, here it is a user interface. User interactive page. Here it is user interactive page interface. This user interactive page we can create it. This user interactive page we can create it with our program, that it is possible by this UI programming. Using this UI programming we are going to create that UI page. This UI page is helpful for creating that user interface. This user interface we can create it by following these all programs. One is HTML, HTML4 and 5. Here for HTML4 and 5. Second topic is CSS2 and 3. Third topic is JavaScript. Almost 20 hours I'll discuss on JavaScript. So core and advanced concepts of JavaScript I'll discuss under JavaScript. Next, fourth one is jQuery. Here jQuery. Fifth one is Ajax. Here sixth one is responsive design. Then seventh one will be Bootstrap. Here eighth one will be Less and SAS programming. Here ninth one is project. Generally, I'll cover these all topics in our web UI programming. I'm going to cover these all topics in the next 40-45 hours of sessions. Here, next 40-45 hours of session, I'm going to cover these all topics. Here under this, here I'm going to show you these all topics in our web UI programming. Here, to cover this content, I'll take 40-45 hours of sessions. I'll take to cover these all topics. Okay. Here, today is the first session on this UI programming. In the first session, you're going to learn what is the UI, what is the use of it, what is the real usage of it. Like that, you will learn something about that. Here, duration, here 40 to 45 hours of sessions. 40 to 45 hours of sessions, I'll take it to cover this all topics. Here UI, here it is a user interface. We can create user interactive page by using all these topics. Here in this UI programming time, I'm going to show you first what is UI. In the demo time, I'll explain what is UI, what is the real usage of it. After learning this UI programming, what we can achieve. And here along each topic, brief information of each topic, you will learn it from this class. Here UI, here it is a user interface. When you enter any URL in the browser, suppose if you are entering google.com, you can see that Google home page for our application. In the Chrome web page or any browser, if you enter google.com, you can see that Google web page. Here Google web page with the search option. Here with the search option, you can see that Google home page. So whatever you are searching here, that it will connect to server page. Here, whatever UI page you are creating, you can see in the web page. This UI page always interact with the server page. So server page always interact with database. Here in this UI programming, I'm going to show you once I click search button, this data will go to this is one UI page. This UI page definitely interact with the server page. That server page is our, here that server page is our a PHP page or a Java page or a .NET page, any server programming, Python programming, you can use it as the front end server programming. Here every time web UI page always interact with the server page, server always interact with the database. These all interactions you can see in every UI programming. In every UI programming, you are going to see these all things. Here, what is UI? UI here, it is a user interface. When you enter any URL in the browser, you can see that home page of the application. In that home page, when you enter anything there, here, that here when you enter username, password, or if you are searching anything here, that search will go to the server page. This server page always interact with database. Here this input is always going to the database. So database will give you result for our application. Database will, different server programmings even use it to interact with this application. This server programming will connect to database, MongoDB, Sybase, any database you can use. That database will give you result for us. So that is the way of interaction of our UI page is interacting with the server page, server interacting with database. Here every time this UI page is interacting with the server page, server is interacting with database. These all interactions you can see in web UI program. Always front end is interacting with the server. This is what MVC architecture. So when you enter any URL in the browser, that always connect to server program. That server program will connect to database. Here databases are here. Databases are here. MongoDB, Sybase, MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, any database you can use it. Suppose if you check here facebook.com. So Facebook is one web page. It is using here. Here Facebook is one web page. It is using here server programming as PHP program. See, if I enter any URL, whatever page you can see, this is one UI page. This UI page, when you right click and inspect element here, now you can see that application with the HTML coding. So total HTML coding you can see here. Doc type, HTML, head and body. In this time, doc type is a document type. HTML tag, head tag, body tag you can see. Here in this HTML, here head and body. Under this body tag, you can see that content of our application. Total web page content you can see inside the body tag. So inside the body tag only you can see that total content of our web page. So this time, whenever we enter our username password definitely interact with the server page. Server has to interact with the database. Here, this is one UI page. This is totally developed by our HTML programming. Once you click submit button after entering your details, you will click submit button here. Without entering any details, if you submit it, it will give you error message. This error message is because of JavaScript. HTML is creating text boxes, buttons, radio buttons and all. Near red color error message is coming from JavaScript. Colors and font family, font style, background color, font color, these all from CSS. HTML creating text boxes, buttons, radio buttons and all. CSS is giving colors of this web page and alignment of this web page is by CSS. JavaScript is used to write. Here we are using here JavaScript. JavaScript is mainly used to write here error messages. So validation error messages, cookie creation, so something we are going to write it with JavaScript. Okay, here HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Three things we can see like this. HTML is the creating text boxes, buttons, radio buttons. Server programming is creating server page is creating that server application. Here when you enter any URLs and all, you can submit your data to server. That server page will interact with our, this server page is interacting with your database. So if you are a valid user, then only you can submit. If you are an invalid user, you entered your username, you entered your password, but even though after something wrong in your username, unfortunately caps letter or something you went wrong. So in that case, it won't show you your inbox page. This web page, it does not show any inbox page for us. Okay, here front end page always interact with the server page. If your username passwords are wrong, it won't show you any server page for us. Sorry, it won't show you any next page, inbox page for us. It will show you error message for us. So this is what here, front end interacting with the server, server interacting with the database. These all you can see in the web page. Front end page, front end page, and this will be developed by our HTML programming. HTML is a hypertext markup language. HTML in the sense it is a hypertext markup language. Here it is a hypertext markup language. It is mainly used to write content of web page. Content of web page, we can create it using HTML. Using HTML only, we can create content part of the web page. Content means buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, paragraphs, everything we can treat like content. Content of web page we can create it with this HTML. So what we can do it with CSS? CSS gives you alignment of the web page. CSS completely align our web page. Here CSS gives you, CSS here it is cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet. Here cascading style sheet, it is mainly used to write alignment of the web page. Alignment of the web page. What is meaning of alignment? See here. Here right click and inspect element here. Now you can see that web page how it was developed. Here that web page is developed by HTML head and body. Here you can see that standard code of HTML will be doc type HTML head and body. So here itself you can see that doc type HTML head and body. This is totally HTML code. Here doc type HTML head and body. This is total HTML code. Here for body tag, whatever font family, font size, whatever we have written in CSS, that CSS it is showing for us. So if I don't write the head tag, see, total alignment of the web page is missing. Complete alignment, left and right alignment of the web page, we can do it with our CSS. CSS gives you alignment part. HTML gives you content of the web page. So here itself we can show you content of web page we can create it with this HTML. CSS is giving you alignment of the web page. So and every web page standard code is doc type HTML head and body. Head tag gives you alignment. Body tag content it is displaying here body part of our application. HTML, input button, text buttons, all we can write it with this body tag. Here body tag of the web page is used to display body part of the application. Means buttons, radio buttons, total HTML tags will learn it inside the body tag. And header tag is used to write our header information. In that header information only you can see complete alignment of the web page. So if I don't write head, practically you can observe this. If you don't write the head part, see there is no proper alignment of the web page. No proper alignment of the web page if I don't write the head tag. Okay. Like this, you can see that head and body for our application. Head tag and body tag you can see as the web page. Web page output will come like this. Head tag and body tag will display like that. Here header tag is used to write, header tag is used to write header information. Body tag is used to display body part of our application. Okay, this is totally about the head and body, and this is totally about the just introduction to the UI. In that, HTML is giving content of the web page, CSS is giving alignment of the web page. Okay, here what we can do it with JavaScript. Here just now I explained error message, that red color is coming from CSS, but that error message is displaying from JavaScript. Here using JavaScript we can do that validation part of our web page. Here using JavaScript we can create it here. Using JavaScript we can create alignment of the web page, as well as here using this JavaScript we can create it here alignment of the web page, or a what we call here client side scripting language. So it is browser side validations or client side validations. We can do it with this JavaScript. So all client side validations we can easily do it with this JavaScript. JavaScript gives you alignment of the web page. Here in that alignment, complete web page, not only the alignment, complete web page error messages, validations, input validations. Here those all we can do it with JavaScript. So JavaScript is giving extra functionality to our browser. We can write it by JavaScript. Because of JavaScript only we can write functions, object-oriented programming, cookies, local storage, like that. We are going to learn some part. Those all we are going to learn in our UI programming. Here in our UI programming, we are going to create how we can create our application with our program. Here that we'll learn it here, HTML. In that HTML, we'll see that here. So JavaScript is giving validations, mainly functionality. Here, functionality of web page. Functionality of web page, we can create it. Here, functionality of web page, we can easily create it with this JavaScript. Here, JavaScript is giving us functionality to our application. CSS is giving alignment of the web page. Here, JavaScript is giving functionality of web page. Here, next we can write it here. CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. jQuery is giving additional extra library. It's an external library of JavaScript. We call it as jQuery. Here, external library of JavaScript, we call it as jQuery. Here, jQuery we can add to our application. Here, jQuery. JavaScript is giving functionality of our application. See here, if I write Oracle create account page, see here, Oracle create account. So if you check that, I'll show you some real-time web pages, how we can develop it. Oracle create account. Okay. So now you can see that how we can write that Oracle create account page. Here, if you check it, Oracle create account page, in that it is asking us to write buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, all you can write it like this. Email ID, password box, like this you can write. Drop down list and all. Here, radio buttons and all you can write it here. So in this time, once you click submit button, these all buttons are by HTML. These all error messages are by JavaScript. These all error messages it is displaying here. This is all error messages all by JavaScript. Here JavaScript add functionality to our application. Here this type of functionality we can add to our program by using JavaScript. Here JavaScript is adding functionality to our application. So major functionality functions we are writing here with this JavaScript. Here majorly today's session we discussed here what is the use of HTML, what is the use of CSS, what is the use of basic use of JavaScript. Okay, I'll show you some real-time websites. Here this is one UI page. This URL, from this URL we can understand this web page is interacting with front end is interacting with a server, that server is our here this front end page is interacting with a server page. Here that server page is here our Java page. This web page is interacting with a front end HTML page only, but this HTML page is interacting with a server page. That server page is our Java page. So here front end is interacting with a server page is here Java page. If you check that Facebook create account page, here Facebook login.php or something, Facebook sign up page, if you check it, here in that you can see that login.php. Here from that Facebook you can understand here, see from that URL you can understand here, this URL you can understand JSP. When these all HTML, CSS, JavaScript code is interacting with the server code is Java. So Java page is interacting here. Here if you check it, this is one Facebook page. It is interacting with a PHP. So it is using PHP server programming to write this, to display this output. Okay, here we are using here server programming as our PHP programming. PHP programming we are using as our server programming. Next we can use it here. We are using here server programming as our PHP programming. Next one, here you can see that this PHP programming we are using here. This is one server programming here. Next one, once I click submit button or a sign up button, it is showing some pop-up and it is displaying that create account page. Here this create account page also by HTML, CSS, JavaScript. After submitting, after entering all complete details, valid details, your web page will interact with a PHP page. Your web page will always interact with a PHP page. So this is what here is Facebook. So Facebook page is interacting with a server page. A server is our PHP page. So because of that PHP page, we are submitting our data to server. So because of that, you are getting that server output. Here from this, we can understand here PHP page is interacting with the server. Server is interacting with database. These all involving in a these all are involving in our UI programming. Okay, here this is one URL related to UI with the server PHP. This is one URL is interacting, our UI page is interacting with a Java page. Both will store their results, their database, they'll maintain their database, either MongoDB or SQL Server or MySQL or Oracle, any database they can use. Here I'll show you some attractive user interface, what we can develop it by learning these all topics. Here by learning all these topics, after learning all these topics, what we can develop it. See here, I'll show you AVEC Drinks Act. Here AVEC Drinks is one website. Under that you can see that how the web page is displaying their output. Okay, here AVEC Drinks is one site. Here when I click down button, here you can see that 3D effect. Here you can see that something like 3D effect. See here, it is when I click down button, see that can is coming up. Here the can is coming up when I click down button here. See content is moving backside of it. Here this is possible by our UI programming. Using UI programming, we can achieve this type of output. Okay, so when I click down button, here I can go like this. Here this way you can see that here front end is interacting with the server. Server will store database in databases. So because of that, we'll get the result of our next page. Okay, so here front end programming is important here for creating attractive user interface. So main intention of our UI is creating attractive user interface. We can create attractive user interface by learning these all topics. Here I'm going to show you how to create our UI page, how this page is interacting with the server, how we are getting that server data. So these all we are observing here in this. This is one UI page, 3D effect you can see like this. If you right click and inspect element, every web page will show you standard code, that is doc type HTML head and body. This is common for every HTML page. Doc type HTML head and body. Doc type, here it is document type. What type of document I'm creating here, that is doc type. We can write it here HTML tag and header tag and body tag. Body tag is used to write body part of my application. Header tag is used to write header information of my application. Okay, so if I don't write the header part, so it won't show you any alignment of the web page. If I don't write the body part of my application here, if I don't write the body part of my application, it won't show you any body content for us. Okay, so this way we can show you our effect for us. Here UI page is interacting with the server page is interacting with the database. Because of all these, you can interact our front end page. Front end definitely give you output for us. This is totally about the our programming. Okay, so just one example site. Suppose if you see here useblink.com is one more site, and in that you can see that create blink something it is there. Here now you can see that here that web page is also by doc type HTML head and body. That web page is developed by doc type HTML head and body. Okay, here and you can see that web page how it is displaying. If you right click and inspect element, you can see that code here doc type HTML head and body. Here inside of it, you can see that here that application whatever we are showing here, that output will come like this. Use blink. Here that video it is displaying like this. Okay, here use blink video it is displaying like this. Here whenever we enter our username password, definitely will interact with the server code. But before entering that server code, you have to create some attractive home page. If your web page home page is attractive, then only every user will like to use your web page. If it is not properly aligned, if it is not attractive, no one will use your site. If you are developing any web page, means it should be understandable, easily understandable for the user, and it should be attractive to the user. It should be attractive, otherwise no one will use our web page. Okay, here we are discussing web UI. Under that first topic HTML. Here first topic from this resultant this sample pages. If you right click and inspect element, you can see that standard code of HTML. Here it is doc type HTML head and body. Doc type, here it is document type, head tag as well as body tag. So body tag is used to display body part of my application. Header tag is used to write header information for our application. Header tag is used to display header information. Body tag is used to display body part of my application. Here this way we can write it here head and body. This way only we can execute our program. Here doc type, here it is document type. What type of document I am using here, that is doc type. HTML tag, header tag and body tag you can see. Okay, here this way we can design our web page. Doc type, HTML, head and body, we can create it like this. Next we are going into one example site. Today I am showing just examples here, and I gave brief information about this. About this UI server to database. These all topics I'm going to cover. And this project session, every Saturday I'll conduct project session. And every alternate Saturdays I'll conduct project sessions. Alternate Saturdays I'll conduct weekend test. So alternate 15 days I'll give you 25 multiple choice questions. You have to complete that here. You have to complete that answers. From by that, you will get some knowledge in the subject. Okay, so you can analyze where you are, what is your stand. You can analyze it. These all topics, I'm going to cover you in web UI programming. Present development is going on under framework level. Framework classes are taken by the other faculty. Others, one more other faculty we have is conducting all framework classes, Angular, React, like that. Okay. Here, if you complete UI programming, or parallelly once I start JavaScript, that day onwards you can parallelly start any framework. So with that framework, it will be helpful to complete your subject as soon as possible, and you can apply for the UI, front-end developer position. Yeah. Here, this is today's session. Today I discussed just brief information about that, and everyday files will be uploaded in one drive, one Gmail drive. The drive you can check it like this. Yeah, 9 p.m. drive, weekend test, programs, paint files, documents, and everyday recordings. This drive will be shared with you. So by that you can learn the content. Up to now, any doubt? Yes, please. Up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Yes, any doubts? Up to now, we have completed our session. So up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Yes, please. Any doubts? Yes, up to now, any doubts? Okay, no response. So we'll continue tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the continuation of demo. Today we have done the introduction of UI. What is UI? Where what all the topics will cover in coming sessions, and how my class goes, and where I'll upload, means how you'll get notes and all, and what all the sample sites we can develop it by learning all these topics, what all the sites we can develop it. These all I explained today. Tomorrow session I'll continue with the tomorrow session I'll continue with the continuation of few more things. Okay. That's it for today. We'll meet tomorrow 6 p.m. I'll continue my class. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to discuss. This is web UI programming. Under this, we are going to discuss these all topics: HTML 4 and 5, CSS 2 and 3, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, responsive design. Then seventh one will be Bootstrap. Eighth one will be less and SAS programming. Here ninth one is project. So generally I'll cover these all topics in our course. Here I'm going to cover these all topics in our course. Here in this UI, here it is a user interface. I can create user interactive page by using this UI technologies. So first of all, what is UI? So we'll discuss that. Here UI, here it is a user interface. Whenever you enter any URL in the browser, you can see that home page of the application. Here, home page of that application, you can see that home page. Here, whatever the home page you can see in the web application, whenever you enter any URL, suppose if you enter facebook.com in the browser, if you enter facebook.com, here facebook.com, if you enter facebook.com, you can see that Facebook home page of the application. Facebook home page, you can show to the user. Home page of the Facebook, you can show to the user. Here, this time what happened here, when I show that Facebook web page, in that time, that Facebook page, whatever you can see here, that page you can easily develop it. Here, when I enter any URL, I can see that home page. This is one UI page. Whatever text boxes, buttons, radio buttons, whatever you can see in the create account page of the Facebook or something. Here, if you check that Facebook page, see here, it is asking us to enter their email ID, password, login. So if I enter my username, password, and if I click submit button, data will be submitted to server. Okay, username, password. Once I click submit button, here, once I enter my username and password, once I click submit button, the data will be submitted to server. So this time what happened here, when I enter my username password, if I click submit button, data will be submitted to server page. In that time, your data will connect to database. From the server programming, this is one URL. This URL is interacting with a, here this is one Facebook where URL. URL is interacting with a front end. Here, whatever UI page it is showing for us, that is one UI page, user interface. This user interface is interacting with a PHP page. That PHP page will connect to database. Here databases are MySQL or SQL Server or Oracle or Sybase, any database you can use it. Here when I enter my username, so I can connect to server page. See here, I'm able to show you that server page here. Is it PHP or not? You can check it here. See, you can see that this page is by, here forgot password. See here login.php. So from this URL, you can understand this PHP page is using, this Facebook page is using PHP as the server page. So PHP programming we are using as a server programming. Here front end page is our UI. UI is interacting with the PHP page. PHP page is interacting with the server page. So these interactions you can observe here in every front end programming. So always front-end programming, UI page is interacting with your PHP page is interacting with database. These all interactions you can see in a web page. Here UI page, in that UI page you can see that here UI is interacting with PHP is interacting with database. These all interactions you can see in a web page. So this time what happened here, when I enter my username password, definitely it has to interact with the server page. So this time what happened here, after submitting your data will store in database. So it will access our details. See here, after entering your username password here, if you click submit button, your data will reach to PHP page. That PHP page will connect to database. So because of that, we'll get the, if I am existing user, then I'll get that next page, inbox page for my Facebook. If I'm not a existing user, that case it will give you here. If I'm not a existing user, in that case it will give you information for us here. If I'm not a existing user, if I'm existing user, then I'll get the next page for my application. If I'm not a existing user, then it will redirect me to error page. So it is showing here error page for us. That error page we can show to the user like this. So this way you can see that here Facebook page is interacting with the server, server is interacting with database. These all interactions you can see in a web page. Okay, this is one introduction of UI. Just 1 second. Yes, thank you. Here we are discussing here. This is one UI page. Here this Facebook page is interacting with the server page. That server is our PHP page. PHP page is interacting with MySQL. Okay, this way you can interact. Here, this is one UI page. Here, if you check that create account page or anything, here you can see that here, that create account page, whatever we are, or a login page, whatever we can see here, this UI page is interacting with the server page. If I enter a valid username, valid user ID, valid email address, valid password, then only I can see my inbox page. Otherwise, I cannot show any inbox page for us. So if I'm an existing user, then only I can show you valid username password. If I'm not an existing user, see, here it is asking this, is it your mail ID? No. So here, if you click for forgot password, again it will ask you something. So accordingly, you have to enter. So different pages, whatever you are seeing in your web page, or a mobile app, or a desktop app, or a tablet, any device, you can use it. If you are seeing any application here, this is one UI page. UI page is a user interactive page. It will give you text boxes, buttons, radio buttons, drop down list, like that, all complete attractive user interface and understandable user friendly interface we can create it with our web UI. Here Facebook page is one example for UI is interacting with a PHP. So if you check here Oracle create account page, here if you check that Oracle create account page, here Oracle create account. So here, if you check that Oracle create account page, under this, see here, if I click here, you can see that Oracle create account page. In that, again, it is asking for email address, password. I cannot use my Facebook email address in the Oracle website. I cannot use Yahoo account in Oracle or Oracle account in Yahoo. Why? Because every web page will ask you to log in. Log in means I have to complete my registration. If I'm existing user, then only I can use these all. And if I'm not an existing user, I cannot use these all. So this way, here we are creating our account. We are submitting our application form. Here, this way we can create it. So here, when I enter my username password, so by that I can submit my application form. So by that I can easily interact with the server page. if I'm existing user of this Oracle, then only I can submit it. If I am not an existing user, I have to create my account here. After creating account, then only I can access, I can log in for this application form. So this is what here totally UI page. UI, this is one user interactive page. Here, this is one example for UI is interacting with Java page. Java is interacting with a server programming. Here UI page is interacting with the Java page. Java page is interacting with database. So database generally will show you any Oracle or my MongoDB or MySQL or SQL Server. Some database will use it. Okay, so we'll use some database, by that we can access it. Here every time front end page is interacting with the server, server is interacting with database. These all interactions you can observe here in every front end programming. In every front-end programming, you can see this type of interactions. Here, UI is interacting with the PHP, PHP is interacting with database. So these all interactions you can see in every web UI programming. Here, now when I enter my username password, I can submit my application form. Here, total duration to cover these all topics, I'll take next 40 to 45 hours of sessions. Next 40 to 45 hours of sessions, I'll take it to cover this content. Okay, total these all topics I'm going to cover next these many hours. And every Friday, every Saturday, Monday to Friday, I'll take topic session, and every Saturday, usually I'll take project session. Okay. Every Saturday, I'll take project session. So like that, I'll continue my class. Monday to Friday I'll take topic session. Saturday I'll conduct project session here, and these all topics I'll continue. Uh, First 2 weeks, I'll suppose first 2 weeks, first two topics if we completed. After 2 weeks in the Saturday session, I'll give you 25 questions, 25 multiple choice questions I'll give to you. So you can answer to that questions. By that you can understand how much you understood from that topic. Like that, every alternate weekend I'll conduct exam. So by that you can understand uh, how you are practicing, where is your stand, and how you are able to write the answers, that you can understand from that exam. Here UI page is always interact with the server programming. That server is not comes under our course. Only we are going to discuss these all topics. If you want to be a server side developer, front end developer, you have to know all these topics. Along with this, you have to know any one framework in JavaScript. If you know any framework in JavaScript, then you can be a front end developer. Frameworks are Angular, React, Node, any one framework, Angular or a React JS or a Node JS or a Vue JS, like that. Different JS are coming into our working environment. So if you complete any one of the framework, then you are eligible for join as a front end developer, from UI side, in UI side. Okay, so different development environments will be there. Server side developers are Python developers, PHP developers, Java developers, like that. We have all different developers. We have. So we'll use that development. Here we'll always use that development for developing our application. Okay, here we are interacting with our front end page. Front end page always interact with the server. That server, if you want to be a full stack developer, you have to know these all front end related framework, and server related framework, database with a complete PL, SQL, complete database. If you know all those topics, then you will be a server side developer. Sorry, complete full stack developer. If you know front end, if you know server code, if you know database, as well as testing and migration. So sorry, testing and integration of code and deployment of the code. If you know all those, then you can be a front end complete full stack developer. So full stack developer should know all three things, and server side also they have to know frameworks. Java related frameworks, to PHP related frameworks. So everywhere they are looking with a framework development. Okay, why? Because it is easy and it will be fast. So fast, quickly we can develop the project. We no need to write everything from scratch. We'll use that frameworks for developing our application. Okay, here these all topics I'm going to cover in our UI programming. So just I explain what is UI, what all websites, example websites where we are using this UI with the server page we observed. Next we are going into here this UI page. To develop this UI page, what all topics are involving. See here, if you check this web page, Facebook is one web page, or Oracle create account page. If you check it, if you right click and inspect element here, right click and inspect element on the application. By that, here you can see that application code. See here, that application code will be like this. See here, I'm showing that doc type HTML. Here doc type HTML head and body. Okay. Here doc type HTML tag, head tag as well as body tag. You can show you like this. Here doc type, here it is document type. What type of document I am using here, that is doc type. Here doc type HTML head and body. This is the standard code of HTML. If you check Facebook, or if you check Oracle create account, or if you check any other website, if you right click and inspect element on that, you can see that here doc type HTML head and body. This is the common code for every application. doc type, HTML, head and body tag. This is the common code for every application. For every web page, we can use it here, doc type, HTML, head and body. Here doc type, here it is document type. What type of document I am creating here, that is doc type. Here itself we can use it here, doc type, HTML, head and body. Head tag is used to write our header information. Body tag is used to write body part of the application. Here under this head tag, you can see that how we can develop our application. Here under this head tag, you can see that here we are going to write buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, everything. Submit buttons, drop down list, cancel buttons. These all will write it in HTML. That alignment of the web page we write it with head tag. That is by CSS. CSS gives you alignment of the web page, and body tag is used to write body part of the application. Okay, body part of the application, we can write it with this. Here, body part of the application, we can write it with this body tag, and head tag is used to write header information for our application. Head tag is used to write our header information. Body tag is used to write body part of the application. Okay, here body part of the application, we can create it with our programming. Here head tag as well as body tag, we can use it here for creating our application. Next, in this time, head and body, and here these all we are writing here. Under this head and body, here if I remove this head tag, just delete that head. See, total application it is displaying, but there is no proper alignment for this application. See, if you right click and inspect element, in that if you remove the head part, head tag of my program, my website, if I remove it, that our application it is displaying like this. No background color, no proper width and height, no proper alignment for my application. Okay, there is no proper alignment if you don't use the body part of the application. Sorry, head part of the application. If I don't write the head part, there is no proper alignment. If I don't use the body part, see, I'll refresh it, all will back. If I don't use the body part, what happened? See, alignment is there, but there is no content in the application. So HTML is giving content of the application. CSS is giving alignment of the application. Alignment, we write it inside the head tag. Body here inside the head tag, we'll write it here. Inside the head tag, inside this head, we can write that proper alignment by using style tag. Style tag, we use it here for writing CSS code. Script tag, we use it here for writing JavaScript code. Yeah, script and style, we can use it like this. So now if I refresh it here, you can see that here doc type, HTML, head and body. So if I remove the body part of my application, just delete this body. See, I'm removing the body part of the application. You can see that here, if I remove the body part of my application, you can see that output will be like this. See, you cannot see any content. So bottom line here, major important things are here. Practically, I'm showing with a real-time example. So just I'm taking Facebook. In that Facebook, you can see here some code related to doc type, HTML, HTML start, then HTML close. Under this, we can write it here, head start and close, and then body start and close. Here under this head tag, we can write it here, script tag. Here under this head only, we are going to write script tag for writing JavaScript code. Style tag, we use it here for writing CSS code. For writing CSS code, we'll write it here, script tag as well as style tag. Here, style tag, we use it here for writing JavaScript code. Here, JavaScript code, we can write it with a script tag. Here, script tag I'm using here for writing JavaScript code. Style tag, we use it here for writing CSS code. Okay, style and script, we can use it like this. Next, we are going into Here body tag, inside this body tag, input type text, input type button, input type radio, something I'm going to write it, this total related to our HTML document. In HTML4 we'll use some tags, in HTML5 we'll use some tags. These all we are going to learn few tags in HTML4, few tags in HTML5. These all I'm going to cover in our programming. Here in our UI programming, we are going to see how to work with HTML4 and HTML5, CSS2 and CSS3. Like that, CSS total code we write it with a style tag. Script tag is used for writing JavaScript code. So this is what basic code for the HTML. This is the basic code of HTML. Any HTML code, we can write it like this. You can save this application anywhere, notepad or anywhere. You can write your code related to HTML like this, and you can run this program. You can save this file. You can write this program in notepad and save the file with any name, one.html or anything. Then after that, open in browser. Here browser, any browser, open in browser. So by that you can see that execution of that particular code. This particular code execution you can see in the browser. So execution always we do it with the browser. Here style tag, what is the use with the style tag? Here style is used to write our CSS code. So what I can do it with this style? Here style is majorly used for writing CSS code. Here itself we are writing here CSS code. This CSS code we can write it for our HTML page. Here we are writing here CSS code. That CSS code we can write it for our HTML page by using style tag. So here itself we are using here style tag. We are using here for writing CSS code. That's in that style I'm going to show you how to write background colors, borders, like that. Something we are going to write it in CSS. Those all we are going to learn under this. Here CSS is used to write our CSS code. Here CSS code we can write it with a style tag. Here style tag we can write it background colors, borders, all we can write it like this. Okay. Okay, you joined for 9 p.m. but you want to move to the 6 p.m. So I'll remove that 9 p.m. accessing. Let me save your ID. So by that I can share this drive with you. Yeah. Here front end, what is UI we understood here. Next I'm going to write here what is UI, what is HTML we understood. Here style tag is used to write our CSS code. In this CSS code we are going to write how to write background hyphen color, background position, borders, all we are going to learn it under this CSS. Here CSS, under this CSS we are going to learn how to write background colors, borders, text alignment, font related styles, text related styles. Here text align, text decoration, text transform, and the float related property. Float is used to align the left and right alignment, and display property will use it. Here display flex property, how to use it. Like that we are going to use some CSS code. That CSS code we are going to learn it. That CSS code we are going to learn it in our programming, in our CSS programming. In our CSS programming I'm going to explain all CSS related properties. CSS main usage is alignment of the web page. So complete alignment of the web page we can do it with this CSS. So complete alignment of the web page we can easily do it with this CSS. Here CSS gives you alignment of the web page. Here, next one here itself, JavaScript. Here, JavaScript gives you functionality to our browser. Functionality of application, functionality of our application, we can create it with this JavaScript. JavaScript code, we write it inside the head part. So inside the HTML page only, we are going to write our CSS code, JavaScript code, all our programming codes. HTML code, we write it inside the body. Inside the head only, we write jQuery code, JavaScript code, CSS code, responsive code, Ajax code, and lessons as code, bootstrap code. All codes, we write it inside the head. Inside the body, we write only HTML4 and HTML5 level of tags. HTML4 and HTML5 level of tags only, we write it inside the body tag. So here we are going to see that HTML4 and HTML5, how we can develop it. One by one we'll learn it. So first few days I'll go with the HTML4 topic. After that I'll go for CSS2. My order of teaching will be like that. Here first few days I'll go with the HTML4. After that I'll go for CSS. In that CSS2 I'll explain border, background, all related CSS properties. Next, after that I'll move to the JavaScript. Next 20 hours I'll sit for JavaScript. After JavaScript I'll back to HTML5, CSS3, jQuery, Ajax, responsive design, bootstrap, lessons as. So these all topics I'll cover you one after another. Here total next 40-45 hours of sessions I'll cover this all content. Generally I'll share my drive like this. Here for students, generally I'll share my drive here like this 6 a.m. drive, how I shared. A similar way I'll share my drive with the students. See, total 46 recordings I have uploaded for this 6 a.m. drive. So just only 13th, on 13th it is completed, 13th Jan. Okay, 13th Jan it was completed. Here this batch, in this batch I explained alternate weekend I have conducted exam. At the end I conducted exam for all topics, multiple choice questions, 25 questions I conducted exam. Next I have conducted I have taken a project session. In that project session, I have explained about the project, how we can develop it, how we can achieve menu bar, drop down list, mouse over menu bar, sub menus, how we can write all those. We discussed in project session. So alternate weekend, I'll go with the project session. That way, I'll continue my class. Okay, here programs, paint file, documents, from everything. I'll upload it in the drive. So for you, I'll create one 6 p.m. drive for you. In that drive, I'll upload programs, paint files, how many demos I have conducted, all demo recordings, documents, everything I'll upload in one file, in one folder. I'll submit my data here. So by that, I can easily create one more drive for so I'll create one more drive for the 6 p.m. In that, I'll upload all these files. You can check it every day. It will be easy for you to access the files and practicing the examples and reading of document and paint files, explanation, everything will be available in that drive. Drive will be shared with you. Here, as of now, JavaScript. Here, just brief information of all the topics I'll explain yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Brief information of all the topics I'll cover you in these sessions. After that, I'll go with the here after completion of these all, I'll go with first topic. Monday onwards, we'll start the first topic of our course, that is HTML4. Today and tomorrow, I'll go with the continuation of introduction of each topic. I'm going to explain totally 8 to 10 topics, 8 to 9 topics I'm explaining here. Those all topics, brief information, just brief information I'll explain to you in that topic. Okay, brief information of all the topics I'll explain to you. By that you can practice the things parallelly along with my classes. Here JavaScript gives you functionality to our application. What is the use of functionality? What all functionalities we have? See here, functionality of my application, we can create it with this JavaScript. Here, what is the use of functionality? Here, functionalities are here, cookies, local storage, sessions, validations. Here, if you are submitting any application form without any data, see, I'm getting that error message. This error message, you will get it by JavaScript. Through JavaScript, you can display this type of red color error messages. This is possible by JavaScript. So JavaScript is giving this type of output for us. Next, we are going for here using this JavaScript, we can create this type of sessions, page expired, cookies, local storages. Those all we can create it with our program. Okay. Here using this programming, we are going to create HTML. HTML creates the content part, CSS is giving alignment part, JavaScript is adding functionality to my application. And every day 1 hour session I'll take for your class 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Sharp 6 p.m. I'll start my class, sharp 7 p.m. I'll end my class. Okay, but daily it will be 1 hour session. I'll take Monday to Friday topic sessions. Saturday will be the project session. Alternate Saturdays I'll conduct exam. I'll give you question paper, multiple choice questions. Whatever topic I have completed in that 15 days, that 15 days topic I'll conduct exam. So by that you can understand how your practicing is going on, where is your level of understanding and practicing, all you can understand. And here, once I start JavaScript session, that day onwards parallelly you can start Angular or React or Node.js. Any one server programming if you learn, then you can be a front-end developer. If you complete any framework, then only you can be a front-end developer. If you want to be a full-stack developer, you have to complete server-side all programmings and the framework and database all programmings. So if you know all those, then only you can be a full-stack developer. That's it for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask. I make you unmute. You can ask your questions. Yes, please. Any more questions? If you are new to computers, if you are new to programming, no problem. You are eligible for this course. No prerequisite is required for learning this UI programming. I'll teach from beginning. Yes, any more doubts? Yes, please. Any more doubts? Yes, up to now, any more doubts regarding course, regarding career, regarding topic? Any doubts? Please unmute and ask your questions. You can unmute and you can ask your questions.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Can I join the both also the morning class and evening class?
You are related to morning or evening? Means which is comfort? Morning means
6 a.m.
Yeah, why both are running same way?
Actually, today morning I did not join the class. Some opportunities, so I attend the classes.
Which time is
Sorry?
which time works to you? 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. So stick with 6 a.m. only.
Okay.
Why? Because in both classes I'll explain same thing. If you want to revise the session, I'll share you recordings. You can check the recordings.
Okay. Now, if I don't join the class in morning, can I join the class?
If you miss the class, you can check recordings. But anyway, if you unfortunately, if some days if you miss the class, you have to get this drive, this link also. Every 15 days, every 1 week, link will change. So if you have that link, then only you can join. Whole two classes are two different links. You have to get links, then only you can join. For the link, you can ask Durga Soft Organizer, Chandrakala ma'am.
Where can I download the videos?
Videos as of now we not uploaded. Today only we are conducting now. So by Monday I'll upload the recordings and I'll share with you. You
Today
have to
morning class you upload?
Yeah,
Today
you
morning
have to
class you upload?
morning class videos. I'll upload it from Monday. From Monday onwards, all recordings, the past 3 recordings and Monday recording, everything I'll upload and I'll share with you. Once I get your mail IDs from organizer, Durga Soft Organizer, once I get your mail IDs, after completion of your registration, she will share your mail ID with. Then I can start sharing. Yes.
I already registered my account.
Okay. If you are already joined, I have to get your mail ID. Once I get it, I start sharing the files.
Okay.
Yes. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Okay, fine. We'll meet tomorrow 6 p.m. for the continuation of class. Thank you. Like that, I'll continue on this web UI programming. Here, first we'll discuss UI. Here, what is UI? UI, here it is web UI programming. We are discussing here. It is one web programming. You can convert it into mobile and desktop app. Mobile app, desktop app, tablet app. You can convert like that. Here, UI, here it is a user interface. I can create user interactive page by learning HTML 4 and 5. Second topic is CSS 2 and 3. Third topic is JavaScript. Here itself JavaScript. Here fourth one is jQuery. Here fifth one is Ajax. Here sixth one is responsive design. Then seventh one will be Bootstrap. Here eighth one will be less and SAS programming. Here ninth one is project. So I'm going to cover these all topics in our web UI programming. I'm going to cover these all topics in the next 40-45 hours of sessions. In the next 40-45 hours of session, I'm going to cover these all topics. Here UI, here it is a user interface. 20th Jan 2023 at demo 3. Yeah. Here UI, here it is user interface. To cover this content, I'll take next 40 to 45 hours of sessions. I'll take to cover these all contents. So these all topics I'm going to cover next 40-45 hours of sessions. Here in this, here UI, here it is a user interface. User interface in the sense when I enter my username password in the application, suppose if it is a Facebook, in that Facebook application, if I enter my username password, I can show you that submit button for the, if I click on the submit button for that Facebook after entering my username password, if I click submit button, that login button, so by that I can able to log in for my application form. Once I log in for my application form, definitely I can see that next page for it. Here I can submit my application form. Once it is submitted, I can able to see my next level of application form. So that it is possible by web UI programming. Here UI, here it is a user interface. We can create user interactive page by learning these all topics. UI here, user interface. When I enter my username and password, sorry, if I enter any URL in the browser, whatever the web page you can see, Twitter, matrimony, GoToMeeting, go to training, or a MeSeva application, whatever it is, electricity bill payment, everything is a web page. So completely everything is moving into the web application. So why? Because web or a mobile app. Why? Because we are not going in to pay the current bill. We are not going to the current electricity office. We are paying in the online. We are in on the home itself. We are doing all our works because of that UI program. Here, when I enter any URL, so here, when I enter a URL for my application, definitely I can connect to my application. Here, that application we can submit to server. So by that we can execute our program. Here, see, I'll show you one of the URL here, this GoToMeeting. This GoToMeeting, after entering my user ID password, the Durga soft mail ID password, after entering that, it is showing that list of links what all available here. Here, whatever the list of links are available here, all the list of links it is showing for us like this. Here, this way we can use it here, our UI programming. Here, because of that UI programming, we can submit our application, we can submit our data to server page like this. So this is possible by here, whenever we submit our data, we can submit our application to server. Because of that, we can easily interact with our programming. So because of that, you can get the list of links, or if it is a Facebook page, you will get inbox page of the Facebook. You can see in the application inbox page here. When you enter the username password, you can see that inbox page, how many posts are available in that, how many friends are there, what all their recent posts, all sharing, all everything you can see there in the home page of the Facebook. If you enter your Gmail ID password, you can see that Gmail inbox page, sent mail, all pages you can see in the browser, that it is possible by this UI programming. Here we are using here UI programming. Because of that UI programming, we are going to see our output like that. Here, because of that UI programming, I'm going to show you my application. Here, I'll enter my username password. See here, I'll enter my username password here. If I enter my username here, after entering that username here itself, I can click on the submit button. When I enter my username password, suppose if I am searching for here http://www.google.com. So when I enter that google.com, I can see that Google homepage for the application. Similar way, I can show you password. Here, once I click submit button or a login button for that application, I can submit my application form to server. So here itself, I'm submitting my application form to server. Because of that, I can easily submit my data to server page. Here itself, I'm submitting my data to server page. Once it is submitted, the data will reach to server page. Server will connect to our front end. Front end page is connecting to server page. So this in the server page, it will make the connection with the database. It will create that connection with the database. After connecting to database, it will get that result from the input box. So you'll get that result of my application. Here, I'm going to submit my application form. So after submitting my application form, I'll connect to database back it into to server. So we'll get that front end result for us. So this type of front end result, whatever you are getting here, this is possible by our UI programming. Here, this is what the database. Here, databases are MySQL or SQL Server or Sybase or MongoDB or Oracle. Like that, any database you can use it for creating our application. Here, UI pages are here. This is our UI page. In this UI page, you will connect to server page. In the server page, here, that resultant page is our inbox page. Here we'll get that inbox page here, that is our resultant page for our program. Here whenever we give our input to our application, so you'll get that next page is our inbox page. Suppose it is here, here it is a Facebook page. In that Facebook page will connect to our Facebook. So by that you will get that server Facebook login page you can see. So when you enter username password, you can submit your data to inbox page. So or if you connecting to Gmail inbox page, you can see here. Here, whatever you are seeing in the browser, those are UI pages. These UI pages are interacting with the server pages. Servers are connecting with database. These all topics I'm going to explain in our UI. UI here, when you enter any URL in the application, whatever you can see, that is what UI. Here, this is totally about the UI. User interface, I can create it for my program like this. This is what UI. Here, now, by using this UI programming, what we can achieve. So, we can achieve like this. ABC Drinks is one of the URL. You can create this type of websites. See here, when I click down button, see content is going up, background is becoming blur, and it is showing like 3D effect. 3D, third dimension, that box is, that can is coming up. This type of effect we can create it with our UI programming. Here, you see here content is moving in oval shape and all contents are coming like this. This is one UI. Here useblink.com is one more site. Under this you can see that here, see, send a request and submitting my data. So in this time, after submitting my data to our application, here you can see that UI page. Here this is one UI page. Here in this UI page, see here, when I click down button here, see how the content is glowing, how the content is coming up direction. This is possible by our UI. Here, because of that UI, you can create this type of effect. Here it is showing three-dimensional effect of application, so it will be like this. Next, we are going into Go Scan. See here, scan option. Along with my mouse, you can see that scan option like this. Here, along with the mouse movement, you can see that scan option like this. Okay. Here, along with the mouse movement, you can see that scan for my application will be like this. See here, how it is showing that effect. According to my mouse, how it is affecting. These type of things we can create it with our web UI programming. Here now, I'll show you some of the applications where we are using that UI programming. Here UI, here it is user interface. I can create user interactive page by this. See here, I can create UI. This is one UI page. Here Google page or a Gmail page or a Yahoo page or like this. We have some accounts here. Oracle create account. So if you check that Oracle create account page, see here. When you want to create your account with Oracle, that time it will give you one front end page for us. See, it is showing one front end page. In this front end page, you can see that here submit button and here email address, password, return type and country, company, work, city. See, these all informations you can see. Here once I click on that create account page, you can see that all red color error messages. These error messages, buttons, text boxes, radio buttons, drop down list. These all we can create it with our HTML. Using HTML, we can create these all boxes. Here, buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, submit buttons, all we can write it with that HTML. So next, after this, you can create it here. Here, buttons, radio buttons, submit buttons, all by HTML. Next one here, if we click submit button for my application, here once we click submit button of my program, so definitely you have to reach to server page. See here in this URL, you can see that server page is JSP. It is one Java server page. JSP is our Java server page. Here, this is one URL. It is an interaction. Here, front end is interacting with. Here, this is one UI page. Here, front end is interacting with. Here, this UI page is interacting with a Java page. Java page will interact with database. Okay. Just one second. Here is one UI programming. Under this, here, under this UI programming, I'm going to show you here Oracle create account page. Under this, when I create my account for my application, see here, I have to create, fill the application form. After filling the application form, I have to submit it. So that time only it will reach to server. So who will concentrate only the front part of the web page? They will be the front end developers. Who will concentrate only the server side? They will be the server side developer. Their duty is reading of input from HTML buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, all input tags. They have to connect to database. This is the interaction. We use it here. Front end is interacting with the server. Server is interacting with database. These all interactions you can observe here in every front end programming. In every front-end programming, you can see this type of input. Next one here, this is one UI page is interacting with the server page. Server is interacting with database. These all you can see in your front-end page. Next one here, this UI page, if you check here, facebook.com. Facebook is one URL, login.php. So from that URL, you can understand this is one Facebook page. When you right click and inspect element here, you can see that this Facebook page here, this is when you right click and inspect element here, you can see that here doc type HTML head and body. Here doc type HTML head and body you can see as our output. See here in this time, once I click submit button, you will redirect to, you are not redirecting. Here it is giving error messages. Here this buttons, text boxes are by HTML. Colors, background colors and alignment is by CSS. Error messages, validation messages are by JavaScript. Here if you check this facebook.com here, Facebook web page, login.php, if I am submitting my application form, here in this UI page, if I am submitting my application form to PHP page, PHP will connect it to database. So this time, what happened here? UI page is interacting with the server PHP. PHP is connecting to database. Here, common part is UI and database. Servers are changing. Database is also not fixed with one database. Databases also change depends on the type of database. Oracle, MySQL depends on that. It will change. Here itself, we are writing here Facebook page. That Facebook page we can create it like this. Here, from this we can understand text boxes are buttons. Whatever UI page you are seeing here, create account page or a login page, whatever it is, text boxes, buttons, submit buttons, here radio buttons, Here radio buttons and submit buttons, these all will write it by, we can write it by HTML, etc. will create it by HTML. Next, we can write it here. Text boxes, buttons, radio buttons, submit buttons, all we can write it by HTML. Next one, we can create it here, colors, background colors, borders, and alignment of the web page, and all other, we can write it with, etc. We'll write it with CSS. Okay. Next, here validation messages, validations, cookies, local storages, local storage, session storage, these all will write it here. We can write it, these all things, animations and etc. all will write it with, here all we can write it with JavaScript. Using JavaScript, we can write these all things. Here, these all things we can write it with our JavaScript. So here I'm creating here HTML. Under that HTML, CSS, JavaScript is used for creating content of the web page, and buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, submit buttons, all will write it with our HTML. So this way you can see all our output. Here UI page is interacting with Java, Java is interacting with database. These all you can see. Here this is our UI page is interacting with the server, server connecting to database, database back to server. So this is our inbox page. So this way, here we can create our application. Okay. Here we are creating our front-end application for our program. It will be like this. Here next one, here jQuery. What we can achieve it using jQuery. Here jQuery is an external library of JavaScript. External library of JavaScript, we call it as jQuery. This jQuery, we can implement it here. External library of JavaScript, we call it as jQuery. The jQuery is 3.6.3.js, or we can use it here jQuery validation.js. Here we can use it here jQuery UI.js. Here itself we can use it here jQuery ripple.js. Because of all these, we can create all our effects. All jQuery effects easily we can create it with this. Easily, very easily. We no need to write complete JavaScript code. When you use jQuery, different effects we can create it. Suppose if you check here jQuery cycle.js. So here cycle. If I search for jQuery cycle, you can see that the jQuery cyclic effect for the images, slideshow of images, we can create it like this. See here shuffling, zooming, fading, and curtain X, scroll right. Here turn down. Turn down. See curtain X, scroll right. Here curtain X, scroll right, and zooming effect, fading effect, here shuffling effect. These all we can create it with our UI. Here using our UI, we can create here shuffle, zoom, fade, all these effects we can create it with our UI program. Next we can write it here. If you check here jQuery ripple.js. Here jQuery rippling effects we can create it with this. Here because of that jQuery ripple.js, we can create here all rippling effects. Here jQuery rippling effects, water rippling effects, we can create it for our program. See here water dropping effect. This is water dropping effect. But here jQuery ripple, here water rippling effect. Water rippling effect, if you search it from the URL, we will download that particular file, jQuery ripple.js file. By that we can create water wave movements in our program. Water wave movements we can create it in our program. See here. So see here how the waves are coming here, and here you can see here how the waves are creating. This is possible by jQuery ripple.js. Like that, I'll explain to you what is the use of each one. Rippling, water wave, all effects we'll see here under this jQuery. Here, up to now, we discussed HTML, buttons, radio buttons, text box, submit buttons, all. Total content of the web page is by HTML. Background colors, borders, and alignment, these all by CSS. Validations, cookies, local storages are by JavaScript. Okay, these all we can create it in our programming. In our UI programming, we are going to create text boxes, buttons, radio button, submit button, background color, alignment. These all will write it with our programming. Okay, this is about the UI. Here UI programming we are going to use like this. Here, because of that UI programming, I'm going to create these all topics. In the next day session, in the Monday session, I'll explain to you Ajax, responsive design, bootstrap, lessons as, and then project. Okay, so what is the use of it all, I'll explain to you. And from my side, every Monday to Friday, I'll take topic session. Every Saturday session, I'll take project session. One weekend, I'll go with the exam. First 15 days, how much topic I have covered, that much topic I'll cover in 25 questions, multiple choice questions I'll give you as an exam. By that, you can understand where you are, how your practice is going on, that you can understand what is your level of understanding the subject, that you can understand by subject, exam, you can understand by exam, and you can understand by project session. So alternate weekends, I'll conduct one weekend project, one weekend examination, I'll conduct like that. Monday to Friday, every day I'll take class, sharp 1 hour class I'll take for regular session. For now, it is for demos. I'm taking 40 minutes, 30 minutes session like that. I'm continuing. Yeah. Here I'm going to cover these all topics, including one real-time project. If you want to be a front-end developer, you have to know all these topics. Along with that, you have to know any one framework, JavaScript framework. If you know, it will be helpful for you to join as a front-end developer. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. We'll meet Monday for the continuation of demo. Today's session, continuation of today's session. Up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Any doubts?
Ma'am, what is the difference between STR 4 and 5?
Ajax?
Hello?
Yes, what is your question?
What is the difference between STR 4 and 5? Last time I read it.
4 and 5. All version changes, some upgrade, newly added tags we have.
Okay. Upgrade means now, last time I read it, it's 5.2 or something, I think.
Okay. See, HTML4 version, we have some drawback. Tags are removed. In HTML5, some new added tags are there.
Tomorrow,
Saturday, no class. We'll meet back on Monday. Monday, we'll continue our class.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, that's it for today. If you have any queries, I shared one number. You contact that number for joining the link or recordings, this demo recordings, course content, all you can get it from that number. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.
Sorry guys, I was a little bit late. Actually, just now the previous class has been got completed. I can see some more people has been joined, guys, actually. So just let me tell you guys, let me just give me 2 minutes of time. Let me check like who has been the new participants. Like I think so many people are there actually, guys. Manohar, yeah. Sakshi, just give a minute. Sonam, yeah, Uday, right. Okay, guys. So guys, I can see some more people has been joined as a today's class. Today, I think you have been joined as a demo class actually, guys. But let me tell you what has been happened, guys. So in the last week only, we have been started this session. Last week means it is almost all 2 weeks actually, guys. 1 week is just a demo sessions actually, guys. So it is hardly two weeks it has been got happened. Just we have been started with some first week, we have been taken a demo session actually. Demo means like what is data science, what is machine learning, These are the some of the things what I have been got discussed about that. So that has been happened for 1 week. 1 week means it is not too much time actually, guys. Just hardly 45 minutes, 50 minutes class only. I can see that actually we have been taken. So in second week, I have been started with the basics of Python. We have been got started actually, guys. So this has been happened for some another 1 week. It has been got happened. But I can see some more guys has been joined now. So don't worry, guys. I'm going to take some backup session actually. So I think I can see somewhere around 7 to 8 people has been joined for the today's class. I can see your names, like some names I can see who has been joined for the today's class. Somebody has been joined in the previous sessions only, but a very few people, 7 or 8 people has been already joined. They have been already registered for the course. I can see another 7 to 8 people. I can see it actually, guys. So don't worry, guys, because I thought that maybe 1 or 2 people may join, but I have seen a little bit more people has been joined. So don't worry, guys, who has been joined for the today's class. So don't worry about that, because I didn't expected that this many guys will join. I expected that there may be some regular students. There are 7 or 8 students has been already registered. I expected that maybe somewhere around 3 to 4 people, but I can see somewhere around more than 8 people, 8 participants are there who has been joined for the today's class. So I'll do one thing, guys. Don't worry about that, because what has been happened, don't worry about that. It's only basic things. If you are already having some core concepts of Python, it's a very simple topics only, which you can understand them. Don't worry. I'm going to take the backup sessions, guys. If you really feel that there is, actually, I can give you recorded sessions actually. So I can take some kind of a backup sessions. I can take it actually, but just give me 1 or 2 days of time. I'll arrange the backup sessions actually, guys. Okay. So don't worry about the completed classes, what has been already done. It's only basics and only some part of introduction only we have been got started. So in first week, only thing is like what is data science, like what is machine learning, what we can do it in machine learning. It's only just an introduction part. Actually, actual discussions will be there and actual explanations will be there whenever we start with our regular classes of machine learning. So that you can just go through the recorded videos and you can go through them. And coming to the Python also, guys, we are still in the basic concepts only. So don't worry, within just 2 or 3 classes, hardly whatever the basics I have been got discussed is hardly 3-4 days concepts only, guys, not more than that. So what is my suggestion for the guys who has been joined for the today's class is, again, I cannot start from the introduction part in the today's class because I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. I will arrange the backup sessions, guys. So whatever the classes you have been got missed, I'm going to discuss as part of that particular backup session, guys. Okay. I'll plan it. I am going to plan those particular sessions and my team will intimate you about those particular sessions. Maybe by the end of the week or maybe some Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Even I'll take a Sunday session and I'll take some kind of a backups and I'm going to make you understand whatever the missing classes are there. So we have not yet started with any machine learning concept. We didn't started anything about data science classes actually, guys. Actual classes, we have been not started about that. So don't worry about the classes. I just started with some introduction part of the data science and we have started with the 1 week of Python classes only we have been got discussed. Yeah, I'll add them. We'll know everybody's going to know about that. We'll have all that information. I'm going to do that actually, guys. Okay, fine. So don't worry about that. No, it's no worries. Don't worry about this, guys. My backend team will have all your details and they will take care about that. Okay, I'll add up everything in the backup session who has been, everything will share it with you. Okay, fine, guys. Fine. So we expected actually, guys, initially only we have some around 30 registrations are there, but very few guys are joined for the last class. And basically this session 9:30 to 10:30, we have been planned targeted audience are going to be employees because so many people are asking for the late night batches. We have been scheduled this actually, guys. Maybe I don't know what is the reason. It may be a short intimation or something like that. Very few guys has been joined and we expected that more people will be joining as part of the registration, but I can see, but today we have a good number actually, guys. So 20 people, I think 20 participants are there now, including me and my backend team. It is 17 candidates will be there. Sufficient, guys. 20, 21, 22, 25 people will be there. So don't worry about the data science classes, guys, because everybody is having an interest, like we don't want to study with the Python. So what we are going to learn as part of the data science? What are the techniques? What are the technologies we are going to learn? I'll arrange a backup session, guys. Don't worry. Just give me 1 or 2 days of time. I'll take a backup session. So today, don't worry. Even if you are not familiar with the concepts, whatever I'm talking today, don't worry about that. Just go through the class. It is only just like a why basically the demonstration is required, guys. Like to know what is our plan, like what is our schedules, like how we are planning the schedules, or how my lectures are there. Is I'm teaching in a proper way or not? So how is my explanations? Can you catch up my accent or not? So to get some idea about that, we'll attend the demo classes, right? So after that, you will plan it, whether you want to join my class or some other X batch or Y batch, you want to join it actually. So I cannot directly start with the today's. I don't have any plan for that actually. Let us happen today and tomorrow. We'll just plan for the, as usually with the Python classes, guys. Maybe today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow, as of my plan, if the same numbers are there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll cover them. And I'll break the batch, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll take the backup sessions. I'll cover all the things actually, guys. Okay. And being it is already a late night batch, I cannot extend the batch more and more. That is one of the reason. But we'll try to just make up the backup sessions so that everybody will be on the same page. But today, everybody is not on the same page. Some of them are in advanced level. Some of them are going to be in the beginning levels actually. If you're already having the concepts of Python, guys, you can handle that. We can just understand the concept, what I'm talking about. Okay. So guys, don't worry who has been joined for the today's class. So please give me just 1 or 2 days of time because the batch was already started. You may be having a little bit lagging is there for you. So don't worry. I'll take up the backup sessions and cover all that particular, whatever the missed topics are there, guys. Okay. I'll give you 5-10 minutes time. I'll give you guys at the end of the class so that we can have some discussions. We'll have a discussions, guys. Okay. Right, guys. Hope all of you understood what I have been explained, guys. Fine, guys. So you can use a chat panel, guys. Try to answer it. Just try to make it interactive. Just answer it as yes or no so that I can know like what you are feeling regarding my discussions actually. Okay. So shall I continue, guys? Shall I continue with the regular class, guys? Right. I'll continue with the regular class, guys. Maybe some of you will already have an ideas about that. If you're already having a Python, you don't find any difficulties. Okay, fine. So guys, we have been started with, currently our discussion is on a Python concept, which is going to be in Python. We have something called as then sequences actually, guys. Normally, if you have an idea about a programming languages, so it's not a Python class actually, guys. We are learning Python for implementation of the data science concepts. So some little bit core Python is required, guys. 2 weeks Python is going to be required. The 2 weeks Python is only what I'm trying to discuss it here actually, guys. Okay. So in Python, we have some concept called as then sequences actually, guys. Some kind of a data structures, which are basically to store multiple values actually. Like we have something called as a list. We are having something like a tuples. We have a set objects, and we are having something called as a dictionary objects actually, guys. These are the 4 basic data structures which we use it in Python. Currently, we have started with the list concept actually, guys. What is a list actually? A list is going to be nothing but it is a collection of some, which is going to be some kind of an heterogeneous elements actually. It is not just a single value actually, guys. It can store multiple elements. Those elements can be, it can be of a different data types, heterogeneous. How do you create a list actually, guys? List is created just by enclosing within a square brackets. Like in other languages, you need not to write something like list, integer, float, okay, string. We need not to write it actually, guys. Simply, we are going to put some kind of a square brackets actually. Yeah, I'm discussing it actually, guys. Nice. Just I'm giving some idea about what has been happened actually. So list is going to be nothing but a collection of some heterogeneous elements, what we are going to be having actually, guys. An integer, and we have a float, we can have a string, we can have a bool, etc., etc. We can have it actually, guys. So this is how do you create a list. To manage this list actually, to manage the list, what is meaning of managing of list actually, guys? We can add some elements, we can remove the elements, we can modify the elements. So we have to require some kind of a methods that are required actually, guys. So very simple, guys. I have discussed only 4 methods as of now. I discussed only 4 methods actually, guys. So if you are already having an idea about object oriented, guys, well and good. Who has already having the idea about object oriented? Even if you do not have any idea, just understand them. I'm going to discuss about those particular applications later actually, guys. So I have been got discussed about what is a method actually, guys. Method is nothing but just a function which is used to do some management or a manipulation with that list actually, guys. So for example, if X is a nothing but a list, so this is going to be nothing but a list actually, guys. I'm going to use a method associated with the list actually, which is going to be nothing but I can say X dot clear actually, guys. What is this clear is going to do? It is going to clear all the elements from the list actually, guys. There are going to be clearing all the elements from the list. The total list is going to be gets cleared actually, guys. That is nothing but what we call it as a clear method. And apart from that, I have been discussed about a method called as a count. You have to give some input value. Whatever the value we have been given, it will gives you the count, the occurrence. How many times that particular value has been got occurrence actually, guys. The occurrence of the value in the list. So at least I'll expect, guys, like who has been joining for the data science, at least they will have some basic knowledge of programming concept. So at least I expect that at least we have some minimal knowledge of programming, so that it's a person who is completely without having any knowledge of computers, they don't prefer to learn a data science actually, because data science is completely a little bit higher level concepts actually. Same as it is, I have been told about a method called as a pop method actually, guys. Pop is going to be nothing but what it is going to do is it is going to remove the element at the given index. Normally, like other languages, index starts from 0 to n, from the left to right. Don't worry, guys. It is also from right to left also. We can talk about them. Don't worry about that. Right to left index also we can define it actually, guys. It is indexed base. It is going to remove the element actually, guys. It removes the element at the given index actually. At the given index, it is going to removes the element actually, guys. And then we have been got discussed about X dot remove. I'll just show you once quickly. I'll show you guys. After that, you can understand the things. It is going to be value based. Removes the given value actually, guys. Given value from that particular list. If the value is available from the multiple, it's going to be available for multiple times. Only the first occurrence will be removed actually, guys. For example, if I have X is equivalent to, we have 20, we have a 10, we have a 20, again a 10, again a 20, again a 10, some 30, 40, we have it actually. If I said remove 10, only this 10 will be removed, but not all the 10s. Only the first occurrence will be removed actually, guys. We are completely in the beginning concepts only, guys. I didn't started with any complicated work actually. We didn't started with any main work also. Okay. So this is a very simple installation, guys. Installation of Python is not a complicated one. So this is going to be a simple installation of Python installation. I'll show you later the backup sessions. I'll arrange the backup sessions and I will explain it actually, guys. I'll arrange the backup session, guys, as soon as possible. Don't worry about that. Okay, so fine. So this is going to be what I'm going to call it as an ideal actually, guys. I'll tell you about more about the ideal, which comes along with the Python installation only, which I have done the Python installation. Along with the Python installation only, I have got this particular ideal actually, guys. You can see a prompt like this actually, guys. We can see a prompt like this actually, guys. See, guys, how I'm creating. X is equivalent to nothing but 10, which is a true. I said which is an hello, and which is going to be something like an 20.45 actually, guys. It's a list actually, guys. I'll tell you all the things, guys. Don't worry. Just it's very simple topics only, guys. I didn't started with any complicated topics actually. So in other programming languages, we don't require any declaration part in Python because Python is a dynamically typed language, guys. Like other programming languages, you don't declare. In other languages, we'll declare it now, guys, like which is going to be something like an, it's an integer, it's a float, it is going to be a bool. We'll do it now, guys. In Python, we don't do it actually, guys. I'll tell you, guys, it's one of the feature of Python, which is going to be what we are going to call it as an, Python is going to be a dynamically typed language actually, guys. Python is a dynamically typed language, which is going to be nothing but no declaration is required. No declaration is required actually, guys. Like other languages, even I can work with integers, I can work with strings, I can work with bools, I can work with actually, guys. X is equal to, I said hello. X is equivalent to hello actually, guys. If I said what is going to be type of the A, type is the function which will tell you like what type of data type it is going to be there. Got the point, guys? So here you can also ask what is the length also. If I say length of the A, it will tell you like how many characters are there. Hello is a collection of characters. String is a collection of characters. Length of X, we can say it actually, guys. It is 4. So if I want, I can print the value of X actually, guys. Don't expect that like a programming language, we do it actually, guys. Not like a programming language. So don't expect like C, C++, Java. We are going to write a .c file, save the file, main method, compile the program, save the file, run the program. We don't do it actually, guys. Simply it is going to be X and print X actually over. You can see it actually, guys. So if you want to remove the elements, let me count it actually, guys. How many times 10 was there? You can see the count actually, guys. It was there for 1 time. X dot count of 100, it is going to be there for 0 times. These are methods actually, guys. These are what we call it as methods. So the guys who are already having the idea about object oriented, they may know about this. Even if you do not have the idea, don't worry, guys. I'll explain. I'll take a backup session. So I'll complete off that. X dot count of 100 actually, guys. 100 is not there. So we can see the 0 value. I want to remove the elements actually, guys. X dot pop. Pop is basically based on the index based removing actually, guys. Index based means which one? 0, 1, 2, 3. Like this, we can specify that. 0, 1, 2, 3. Even we can write in reverse order actually, guys. This is -1, -2, -3, -4. It is from left to right, right to left index is there. If I said X dot pop of 2 actually, guys, the second element will be removed. Second index 0, 1, 2. Hello will be removed actually, guys. It will tell you like what value has been removed also, it is going to tell you. Don't think that it is only returning the data actually, guys. That particular 22, the element at 2 has been removed and written the value actually. So now if you can see X, you don't see the hello actually, guys. Previously, the length of the X is going to be 4. But now I can say length of the X is equal to 3 actually, guys. Why? Because you can see one element has been got removed. So pop is basically on the index. If I don't specify which value we have to remove, it automatically removes the last element actually, guys. It automatically removes the last element. X dot pop. It removes the last element actually. That is going to be what we are talking about, the pop method. Once again, I'll create it. 10, 20, 10, which is 30, 20, again at 10, 20, again at 20, 30, whatever you want, you can give it actually. No worries. Now we can say X dot, which is going to be remove. Remove is not based on the index, guys. It is completely based on the value. If I say remove of 1, you will get an error actually. Why? Because 1 was not in the list. Index pop can do that actually, but remove can't do that because remove is value based actually, guys. X dot, I said remove of, which is going to be 10. Only the first occurrence of the value will be removed. It won't remove all the 10s. 1, 2, 3 10s are there. So out of the 3 10s, 1 10 has been got removed. Now, if you want, you can count it.